Welcome back to the No Cut Sports Podcast with your host, Niall Frazier. And today we have a few things we need to talk about. But before we get started, if you could for me, please like, comment, and subscribe to always catch this vibe, man. Y'all already know. You already know, man. So, few things we need to talk about. If you don't know, today the Philadelphia Eagles started their I think it's about 6 OTA practices that they are holding this upcoming season. Like I said, they had the first one today where they released the video, and if I have the video, I'll post it here. The guys out there doing different drills and things like that. And you know me, I got the podcast, things like that. So I'm watching with a different set of eyes. I want to see, we got the rookies out there that we just drafted. Also, some players that we brought in free agency as well. And I'm just using my eyes, just trying to see what I can see, because you don't get all the information from all the practices and all the OTAs. But long story short, a couple things I want to talk about were some of the players and positions that I feel like should be a concentration point for the Philadelphia Eagles if they're not seeing what they want to see in OTAs and also in training camp. Starting off with player Ty Robinson. He stuck out to me, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now, I don't know how long some of y'all have been here with me, but I want to say 23, the year we had the collapse, right? I went to the open practice and I was up in the nosebleeds, right? But long story short, man, I see this young man moving I can't have the slide machine, whatever that thing is called, the little slide joint with the pad on it, and yeah, man, I'm like, bro, you can see this dude like strength is off the charts. And I'm watching the video today that the Philadelphia Eagles put out of the OTAs, and I see Ty Robinson, the Vanilla Gorilla, and he is a Vanilla Gorilla. I'm telling you, he's a unit. All no disrespect to him, you know what I'm saying? I know they play around with the words and whatnot, but we like to keep it clean here. So, but it's all love, man. But I seen him, and I'm like, dog, this dude is a menace. He was manhandling the little machine. I'm like, golly. So I'm liking what I'm seeing from Ty Robinson, at least from that little glimpse I got to see. He does look like he has good strength, a very, very large human being. Oh my gosh. It would be very nice to see if we can use him in some type of. I mean, I know they're going to use him in a rotation. They want to have drafted him in the third round, but he looks like one of those players that really can be a sleeper. Um, my next player in position that I want to talk about was the safety position in Andrew McComba and Cindy Brown. As y'all know, Cindy Brown coming off of an injury. I'm very high on Cindy Brown. I like Cindy Brown when we drafted him. I like when Cindy Brown dumped my man, one of the Cowboys, on their head during the special teams play last season. So I like his grit. He kind of reminds me when he hits people, his aggression of Brian Dawkins from back in the day. I'm not trying to compare the two because we really ain't seen too much from Cindy Brown yet. But on special teams, I think Cindy Brown is a very, very legitimate player. I do think he does play a little bit faster than what his brain is telling him, you know what I'm saying? And he misses some tackles, which is a big thing with Vic Fangio. He hates to miss tackles and things like that, and I think any coach would also feel the same way. So he's a player that I'm looking forward to. But also with drafting Andrew McComba, his safety coach came out and said that he gives him remnants of Buda Baker, which was a player that the Eagles were also interested. These last few off seasons, if you've been following the Eagles, it seems that his name always gets attached to our team in the off season. So, getting a player like that, hopefully he can play up to that caliber, because that would be a great plug in for that Vic Fangio defense. So, Andrew McComba and safety and Sidney Brown both battling it out. Even Reed Blankenship, you know what I mean? He's up for I want to say a contract either this year or next year. I didn't have that information. My fault. I do apologize, but. He's another safety that's up for a contract, and he's been playing well throughout the last few years with him being an undrafted player that we acquired. So he should be able to command some, maybe not a lot of money, but, a decent amount. So little situation back there. Hope they can get that, sewed up. My next position would be the linebacker position. Okay. Now, to some, I feel like depending on what Vic Fangio wants to do with the scheme, because some of those players can play off the edge or they can play linebacker. But right now, I just want to concentrate on Zach Bond. We signed him. Jaha Campbell's another player that I don't think he's participating in the OTAs just yet. I'm kind of still up in the air. I know he had some I know his shoulder, the slap tear, I want to say something like that. But he's recovering from that, and I just feel as though that that's not nothing that can keep him back or hold him back from training camp. I mean, they probably want him, just to rest. He probably just doing the walkthroughs and OTAs and things like that. But probably just to rest, heal up. Number one pick, you want to make sure that he is ready for training camp, so they could put a heavier load on him. And I just feel like between him and then whatever Nakobe Dean now, they put a video out of the players playing basketball, things like that. If I had that, I will put it up here. But I know it's been a few days since I made a video, so I think that came out last week, I want to say. But Nakobe Dean was moving around, no brace on his leg, no nothing, no crutches, anything. Moving very well. They're saying that he's ahead of his schedule with healing and rehabbing. So hopefully we can get Nakobe Dean back. I know it might not be earlier in the year, but maybe toward the end of the year. Don't want to rush that situation back. But at the same time, I really would like to see Nakobe Dean come back. I really like the way he played last year. Diagnosing the plays, man, making an interception against the Jags, just little things like that he did, and to see the type of injury that he incurred, and the time that he had the injury was very devastating. I'm for sure for him. So shout out to Nakobe Dean, man. But you also got I know I'm gonna say his name wrong. Mundin from Georgia, another linebacker that can be within play, as well as Jeremiah Trotter, which was I thought personally I like Jeremiah Trotter. We already liked his pop being here. Philadelphia Eagle things like that. But I thought in college that Jeremiah Trotter was a decent linebacker, and I feel like like I said, when the players come out of the draft, they need to be. It's not the finished project yet. You got to develop the players still and things like that, especially when they're learning the NFL system and things. So I feel like he is still in play. Another player that you're going to have to watch out for when training camp starts as well with the linebacker position. So hopefully they figure out what they want to do there. I do hope to see Jaha Campbell before training camp. I think he got the operation done in March. I want to say something like that. So I know it was like early in the year, but hopefully we can get him back sooner than later. So and then moving on, running back position. Now, to me, I like AJ Dillon. Okay, we already know we know what Saquon get. We know what he do. You feel me? But at the end of the day, I liked AJ Dillon when he played for the Packers. Now, taking my personal feelings out of it, he is coming off of a neck injury where he didn't even I don't think he even played last year if I'm not mistaken. So, but if it's the AJ Dillon of before, it'd be a great 1-2 punch, especially with putting Will Shipley maybe as the third because I like Will Shipley too. I felt like he had some good break off runs last season. My man, got to get his stamina up a little bit, but when in his speed. But I felt like he was coming into himself toward the end of the season. But I feel like if the running back position, especially with AJ Dillon, if they feel like he's not, living up to what he needs to be, I feel like they have to go out there and find somebody else. I don't know if it's an undrafted free agent or undrafted, just undrafted from the draft. So I don't know what they want to do, but the Eagles still have about 25, I want to say 24, $25 million in salary cap space. I know there's been other rumors about other players that they've been trying to go after or that have been linked to the team. And that's all good and dandy, but I feel like after the OTAs, they really should get, a better understanding, especially with the running back position, of of if they need to, go out there and see if they need to add something to that. So, but I like AJ Dillon. I hope he can pan out because he's like another Saquon. Especially, I don't know if y'all seen my last video, my recent video where I talked about a lot of the schedule and a lot of the players and teams. Excuse me, a lot of the teams on that schedule that we play aren't good at stopping the run. So I feel like the Eagles want to double down on that run situation. I mean, they got it pretty much. To me, it's more of a balanced offense, a little bit heavier on the run side, of course, but I feel like it's a pretty much balanced offense. You feel what I'm saying? So we still got AJ and Smitty out there on the outside if we need to, do what we need to do. Still got Dotson out there, which I feel like he's going to have a big role as well. Which is going to lead me into my final point. I feel like the wide receiver is another area or position that we need to concentrate on with the depth, especially because right now, it's crazy to think. Right now, the Philadelphia Eagles have first round talent at all three positions at the wide receiver. Um, but I ain't gonna say it's a talent drop off, but it is somewhat of a significant talent drop off with the depth that we have. M.I.A. Smith and Johnny Wilson were two players that we acquired in the draft last year. I was very high on M.I.A. Smith. I was very high on Johnny Wilson, but I was really talking more about M.I.A. Smith, where I thought he could be more of a slot gadget player, maybe move him around, use him in the backfield as a running back, things like that. He could catch. He could catch high point balls and good stuff. All the good things like that, contested balls, things like that. So I felt like he would be somebody that would spring into action this past season, and we really didn't get to see that. Same thing with Johnny Wilson, another player, tall, just a tall, lanky dude, but got a problem with securing a rock when it's thrown his way. So I feel like hopefully those two guys have been working this off season, but like I said, the depth behind those guys, it's a drop off, bro. You can't expect nothing to happen to AJ Brown, or Smitty, or anybody, or Jahan Dotson as well. So I feel like that'd be a situation where they might have to look into during the training camp OTAs. Just seeing what they got. Like I said, I know they're developing the players. You can't expect these players to come out the draft and be that guy. So you see they develop the guys. They might be here for 1 to 2 years. And they might not start, and then you see them get thrown in the rotation, and it's like they're not missing the beat most times. So hopefully we get that with the wide receiver position. But like I said, if we don't have that, that is something that we definitely need to address too. Because I feel like we just been concentrating more on the defensive side, not really talking about the offensive side of the ball. So I would just like to see that. And I don't think there's anything else that I do have. I just wanted to hop on here and make a video, give y'all some content for the day. But just be on the lookout, man. I'm gonna try to cover the OTAs as best I can. Like I said, I don't have access to the OTAs, so I can only get what the Philadelphia Eagles and the reporters put out. If they even have them in attendance, I know they don't attend all of them. So, and then you got to be wary of the like last year they was talking about Kenny Pickett out throwing Jalen Hurts, and we thought Devin White was going. We totally forgot about the Devin White situation. So, Devin White coming and then not playing at all and then getting traded. So, we got to be prepared for them types of stories. But the season, I mean, not the season, the content should pick up with the different OTAs going on and them getting back into training camp and things like that. But yeah, man, the Super Bowl, we are the Super Bowl champs. I know Jalen Hurts said that was last season, which he is right. We're going into a new season. But I still think, and I'm gonna just throw this out here, man. I know we ain't start training camp or anything like that, but I don't see. I'm gonna just finish off with this, okay? I don't see another team, right, comparable to the Philadelphia Eagles. We lost some key players. Darius Slay, an older player, Isaiah Rogers, Orrin Burks, even N'Kobe Dean getting injured, like things like that. We lost some players, okay? But I don't feel like they were significant enough that for us to have a crazy drop off. Yes, we still need to replace some players, but I do not see a team that can match up with the Philadelphia Eagles still. I even seen Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes walking into the building. He just don't look confident, bro. And I don't feel like they got better. I don't feel like they got better. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it a buck. So all the elite teams or elite quarterbacks y'all talk about, the Bills, Ravens, Burrow, whoever y'all want to name. I still don't think on their best day they still messing with Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, bro. I'm telling you. I was arguing with people. I stay arguing with people. Sometimes I do it on purpose now, especially that we got a Super Bowl trophy and he's the Super Bowl MVP. A lot of people don't like how Jalen Hurts plays football. For whatever reason, a lot of people really don't like. I don't know what Jalen Hurts did to people, but a lot of people don't like him. Some of the fans of the Philadelphia Eagles don't even like Jalen Hurts. Now I've been critical of Jalen Hurts because I expect better. That's just overall from the team. I'm gonna critique any player that's not doing what they're supposed to do. And you're not always gonna have a perfect game too as well. But to say Jalen Hurts is not one of I mean, PFF said that he was top five, so I'm not even gonna argue with nobody no more. But to sit there and say Jalen Hurts is not a if you want to call it elite or a top quarterback in this league is crazy to say to me when your quarterback can't even get there. I understand that football is a team sport, but when people sit here and talk to me about the quarterback position, what does Jalen Hurts do that none of these other quarterbacks do? You feel what I'm saying? Y'all like Josh Allen when he's running for touchdowns and breaking tackles and stuff like that. But when Jalen Hurts does it, it's oh, he's a running quarterback because he's not throwing for 4,000 yards. I mean, that's fine because the quarterback that's throwing for 4,000 yards can't get past Patrick Mahomes or to a Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson running around throwing the ball, critical situation. Same thing with Josh Allen. Critical situation, they throw the they give the game up. It happens to hurt sometimes, but he redeems himself in a way where I'm not gonna let y'all down. You feel what I'm saying? His winning percentage speaks for itself. Y'all sit here and talk about a loaded team. The team is built, not bought. Everybody got the same opportunity, and that's what I wanted to talk about. The NFL is going to try to implement a way where, and this has got to be for us. We rack up so many picks with what is it called? A contemporary, whatever them picks are called when you trade a player, whatever the case may be. But we rack those different picks up. We find loopholes in how we pay our players, so we're never in cap hell. We got a lot of our owner is considered a cash rich owner because he can pay players up front opposed to other teams, cheapskate teams. You know what I'm saying? So they're trying to figure out a way to make it fair across the board. No, they're trying to figure out a way to stop the Philadelphia Eagles from dominating this league because they found a loophole to paying the players and getting the most out of these players on a bargain. Any other team can do it. It's so crazy. Just like the touch push. Any other team can do it. But y'all rather ban it. That's some sucker ish, bro. That's called being a sissy, a punk. You feel me? Because it's something that you can't do instead of trying to get better at stopping it or even doing it yourself. These teams that voted against it try the same play. They just can't do it. That says more about your organization and coaching than it say about us. We can do it. Y'all just don't got the right players. So I'm not going to sit here, you know what I'm saying? I know people probably going to come on here talking about, Jalen Hurts and an elite quarterback. I seen Chris Daniels sitting there still saying I'll pick a different quarterback over Jalen Hurts, which is fine. His opinion don't matter to me. You a backup, bro. You feel what I'm saying? So his opinion don't matter. That's just pure hate. It's no way you sit here and look at Jalen Hurts and be like, he not good, bro. But he been to more Super Bowls than your favorite quarterback. It makes no sense to me, bro. It makes no sense to me. I'm tired of hearing about the stats because at the end of the day, I'm gonna put it to you like this. Me and my girl was talking, right? And I appreciate my girl because she listened to me. She let me get my little thing off when I be talking about my sports. And I was talking to her before I made this video, and I said to her, we sitting there talking. I sat there and I said to her, I'm like, Jalen Hurts, okay. When it comes time, no, I was talking about Patrick Mahomes. Okay, so I was talking about Patrick Mahomes. I showed her the video of Patrick Mahomes walking into practice, whatever the case may be. That's a little backstory context. And she was like, same thing I thought. He don't look confident. Especially when you get belt to you know what on the biggest stage of your career, okay? Biggest stage of the sport that you play. Didn't look confident. I'm like, I don't know if they'll probably make the playoffs, but I don't know if they'll make the Super Bowl, I said. But then I also said this. We praise Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, for that recklessness play style that they have in the regular season. Same thing with Lamar Jackson. That it's not, I want to say it's reckless, but it's a looser play style, right? The playoffs, when it comes playoff time, right? Jalen Hurts can temper his game or can figure out a way to win. Temper his game to the point where if he got to do it, he can do it. If it's Saquon, it's Saquon. If it's this, he'll do that. He figures out a way. Excuse me. He figures out a way to win. I don't know why it took me so much to get that out, but he figures out a way to win every time, or most times. I can't say every time because he's not 100%, but every time. Those QBs that y'all call elite cannot do that. In the big moments, they do not shine. Case in point, Josh Allen throws a pick with the game on the line. Exotic blitz up the middle, whatever the case may be. Throws a pick. Lamar Jackson, we talk about Lamar Jackson. Oh my God, Lamar Jackson, this, that, and the third. Bro, turnover and pick. Or two picks and the turnover, whatever the case may be, in a playoff game. And y'all expect to win? Now, Hurts might not give you that flashy gameplay in the playoffs or throughout the season, but he wins with what he has. And yeah, maybe what he got is better than most. But other teams have been ranked throughout the years either better than us or closer than us, and they still can't do what we do or what Jalen does. So until somebody knock Jalen off his throne, only person I'm really gonna give credit to is a Patrick Mahomes, bro, because now it's at the point where we're praising regular season players. Y'all giving me Dak vibes when y'all talk about Josh Allen. Y'all giving me Dak vibes when y'all talk about Lamar Jackson now. They're regular season MVPs. My QB's a Super Bowl MVP. Regardless if you like it or not. Regardless. People say, oh, you Trent Dilfer. Okay, and Trent can talk just like this. Because you know why? There probably were quarterbacks that were better than Trent at the same time, and they couldn't get it done. That's the whole thing about this sport is executing. They couldn't get it done. But you know who got it done? Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'ma holla at y'all, baby. It's now from the No Cut Sports Podcast. If you could for me, please like, comment, and subscribe to always catch this vibe, man. And before we get out of here, just one more thing. Shout out to the Super Bowl champs, Philadelphia Eagles. Can I get a cookie? I'ma holla.